Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today is Monday. We're back to the top of the workshop looking at the top performing map of the moment. And it's one which should appeal to me. I've often said green and pleasant temperate lands and rolling hills and beautiful countryside. All those sort of things really do make a map work for me. And we've got all of those things in today's map. Now, it's a creator without too much previous experience. You know what's coming? Here it comes.
It's my first map.
That's right. So don't go expecting perfection, but expect something very pleasing. It'll also please me very much if you play along with BonBonBingo. Link is at the top of the description of this video. Go and grab yourself a free bingo card and play along just for a little bit of extra additional fun. Because there isn't enough fun in life, is there? We have to make our own fun, don't we? Here's a way of doing that. That's right, having fun incorporates clicking the like button. Thank you very much for your ongoing support. Today's map is Southshire, or Southshire if you are from America. we don't pronounce it as Shire. Sure. The rolling hills of the UK vanilla by about 63 cats. Could be 64, could be 62. There's your start square. Could be 61 and a half. Oh, half a cat. Schrodinger's cat. The terrain heights looks pretty good as well. Let's have a little look at the resources. Field painting, big and bold and very usable. Okay, happy with that. And if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's mostly a salmon environment, mostly, along with the lake. And sirens coming. You may not be able to hear them, but I'm telling you, there are sirens. It's a mass transit map today. You will need mass transit for this one, along with park life, which I can't tell you exactly what that's for, but park life as well. There is a custom-made theme, the Southshire theme, along with the Relight Average LUTs today. So if you have sirens on your bingo card, even if you didn't quite pick that up on the microphone, I promise you they were there. Okay, down to a ground level, and let's see what About 63 Cats has got for us. Now, this is based loosely on the area that they're from. From memory, again, this was, oh crikey, when did I look at this? This was this morning. I think they're from Nottinghamshire, and certainly the sort of like the Midlands part of the United Kingdom, of England, even the Midlands of England. Yeah, I would go along with these sort of hill shapes on the whole. And I think the theme that they've gone with the cliff texture, I think works quite nicely as well. In fact, I think there's quite a lot of accomplished things to talk about with today's map, especially when we are talking about 100% vanilla assets. We've got a little bit of road over rail here, perfectly aligned bridges. I'm very happy to see that. But yes, 100% vanilla trees, which was one less thing to subscribe to, or many less things to subscribe to. Oh, hang on. Biggest problem with today's map right here, guys. And that is this ground-based road, which is just a little bit elevated, causing a whole streak of blue mantle. That's always a fail. Always a fail. And then heading up to a trumpet intersection. And this is quite neatly done, an elevated thing, and right here I don't mind the elevation, a couple of trees on the road there, but that's an exception to the rule on today's map. Yeah, trumpet intersections go, that's pretty neat. Pushed together neatly and then separates as we come down the ramps. I'd like to see the ramps transition over a longer period, and also we've got a little bit of wibbly wobbly on the left hand highway here as well. Right hand highway perfectly straight, left hand one just like wandered around a little bit before finding its distance, which is about that sort of distance that you're looking at now. Right, now we're heading up to the start square. I'm not sold on this big elevated roundabout we're about to see. I would rather, although it's not perfectly flat land here, so you'd have to find a neat way of transitioning it through. But I'd rather see the roundabout at ground level and the highway maybe even through a cutting or possibly elevated across the roundabout. one way or another, I think there would have been ways around this one. It's not particularly well polished, and I'm not really digging the... And also have a look here, right? Have a look. We're coming down the hill. So from that point to about the height of the roundabout is about the same. So that ramp going up onto the roundabout, that could just remain level all the way along. If we're going to do an elevated roundabout, why force the car to drive down the hill and then force the car to go back up the hill? That's it's a minor thing, and the answer to the question is quite clearly where About 63 Cats is going to send us a link to a photo on Google Earth of this exact same roundabout, which would be elevated with a ramp that does exactly that. And if that's what happens, I can't complain, really. This bridge is fine. I like this placement of the pillars as well. And we've managed to avoid Blue Mantle, which I am very surprised by. Very, very surprised by. I'm very pleased. Surprised in a good way. Sometimes seeing work from, again, this is my first map going on here, seeing work from a first timer and expecting to see something and then not seeing it says, hey, listen, this first timer, they've got something. I think they have. So anyway, the highways are now going off into the hills. Check out some of the cliff textures. I think I've got the day-night cycle on here as well. It may get a little bit gloomy by the end of the lengths of the shadows on those trees are extending. So anyway, that's not a problem. We'll just make sure the second half of the show we've got the light switched back up if it does get a bit gloomy. But this is the Midlands, so it kind of fits. only Brits will get that one, or anybody from any part of the world where you have a gloomy part of your country. I'm sure there are gloomy parts. I mean, Seattle, was it Washington State, well known for being wet, isn't it? So yes, the Midlands is always like overcast. Unlike the skybox that I'm going with. I'll stick with this skybox. It gives consistency to every review, unless of course the map requests specifically a different skybox. But this one's fine consistency, and it means we just get the same the blueness in the air as well, because it does reflect lights down onto the map too. The route I like. Okay, I'm liking the route. It is a little bit uppy downy in places. You'll notice like a bit of a bump over a hill here, which maybe could be a cutting because we're going back down here. So maybe a little bit of a cutting going through there would have been more realistic. But generally, the route's okay. It does tend to go up a little bit downhill. Or down a little bit uphill even, as we're now going up into the hills. And there's probably one or two transitions which are just a little bit steeper than real life would permit. But again, it's a Cities Skylines map. True realism. If you're a true realist, this is not going to be your map for you. But those of you that are just happy with it being pleasing, I think, again, we're looking at a good one here. And it's not top of the workshop for no reason. It's got a lot going for it. Here's where the hill's going to suck in that rail. It's going to go slightly up the side of the hill when possibly it could just follow the valley. Would have made a bit more sense to me. But anyway, that's the road and the rail. What we'll do is we'll go and do that intermission in a moment when we come back. As always, we'll be checking for shipping routes. Do you think there'll be shipping routes on today's map? And then, of course, water flow. We've got a river. Is it a working river system? And there's a truck going past and a motorbike. Hey, lots of things to check off on your BonBonBingo card today.
Have you never quite worked out how to use Ploppable Rico? And what the heck is Ploppable Rico anyway? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Ploppable Rico by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And so back to Southshire, the rolling hills of the UK, vanilla by About 63 Cats. Yes, we have a narrow route that crisscrosses there, so you may have some steeply turning aeroplanes on the map. But then, that's game mechanics. You're going to see that anyway if you're not careful with your airport placements. No shipping routes on today's map, and that's not really surprising given the sort of river that we have. may notice we're going upstream there by the arrows on the river, and there's enough water flow to get you started on this one, as we have a working river system. It's a little bit narrow, but you can just about draw from it. Heading up into the hills, and then odd things happen. Okay, there we go, right up into the hills, and then from here downhill. So your water spawn point is kind of there. It doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. Why did you do such a thing? Again, prepare for screenshots of the actual location and the river that does actually do that. Yeah, I want to see it. Rolling fields. Oh, the rolling fields. And beautiful shapes they are too. Liking the prop line tool use of the hedges. It works kind of well. Then you've got little features like this, which, I mean, it breaks up the field. I can't grumble about that. And then we have, I'm guessing this was a quarry, because we have some fairly steep edges here and there. So I guess, again, in real life we had a quarry here. There's probably some fish in here because we have some piers. The piers are pretty high, but that's probably okay for fishing. I've not been fishing since I was 13 and I got so bored I left my mate on the pier to finish fishing. Sorry, Darren. I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Let's head over this way. We have, it's a castle on the side here, and I think the placement of this castle's about right. It's somewhat under detailed. Oh, hang on, the wall doesn't quite meet the the tower there. It's under detailed, but actually that works. Sometimes under detailing works better than over detailing, and I think in this occasion I can't argue. If we follow the river back up the stream, we've got some neat work. Again, this pier is way too high up for this particular part of the river, I feel. Old worship area there, a few logs as well, and the textures as well on the cliff edges. I really like them. In fact, I think this Welsh shows to its best up here with this little area here. Just have a little look at the textures over here as well. And again, this is all about 63 Cats' work as well. A little waterfall going on there. Heading up, and then you've got this like lake type thing at the top there, which is actually downstream. Weird. And then, sorry, I don't understand. Again, the textures, I think probably a little bit of a more vertical slope on some of these cliff edges would be more believable. But I think the texture does carry a lot of the weight. And is a good texture, so I think we can applaud that. Heading back towards the start square, should check to see how flat this area is due to popular request. Let's switch the lines on. So to the right hand side of the roundabout, flat area over there, and then slopes leading down into it and down away from it as well. And if we're in the start square, it's probably time we prepared ourselves for the asset of the day. This one's classic. Classically British. Classically British. The UBA Faculty of Law by Karnak 207. If I remember rightly, this comes from the very British town of Rio. I could be wrong. I remember it being Brazilian. Again, I read the description on this about 3 days ago and thought, I have to review this. I have to show it. I'll let you follow the link and read more about it. It's an amazing building, and Karnak 207 has done themselves proud. Factoids, because factoids. Men, that's me guys, hello, have on average 10% more red blood cells than women. It's true. That's what makes us men. And I guess women on average have 25% more brain cells, or so they would have us believe. And so they would be right. On the whole, yes, women do think with their brains. Actually, they think with their emotions, while we supposedly think with something else, don't we? Supposedly, that's what they say. And we definitely have more than 10% more of that. There's no doubt about that one. UBA Faculty of Law by Karnak 207. Today's asset of the day, and at least that wasn't in the gutter like my analogy. Oops. Right, let's have a little spin. Shall we have a little spin? Maybe bring the camera down and say, hey guys, do you think we should have a vote on the map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Oh, have a look at this. Got some trees in the river here. Now, I'm wondering whether they're part of a park life asset or... Oh, no, it's an individual tree. Look at that. Oh, no, those are rocks. Hang on, what about that tree? Yep, so there's no excuse. No excuse with actually drowned trees there. That probably shouldn't be. Anyway, yes, have you voted? Have you voted yet? Have you? Oh, good, I'm glad. I'm glad. Because I haven't. That's my turn now. Here we go. What do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I'm pleased by it. I think the theme is excellent and probably should be used again, if not just by About 63 Cats, but maybe others as well. Does the map overall give me a 4-star feel, though? I've got to say no. I think it's very close, though. I'm going to give it a very high as you go 3 stars. And, yeah, just something about it doesn't quite feel quite there. Detailing, again, there's not too much wrong with it, but there's nothing that really sells it as a 4-star map. It's solid enough to get a middly high 3 stars, I think, on the whole. There's a few minor grumbles here and there. Gameplay. Now, this is where the map kind of wins. There's plenty to fix, though, but even then, I think it's probably just creeping into 4 stars. So 4 stars it is from me. Southshire, the rolling hills of the UK vanilla by hang on, it's gone off my screen. That's shocking. Hang on, I've got it here. Let me just scroll back up the page. I'm on it, don't worry, I'm on it. I know who it is. I do. It's help. Help. About 63 Cats. Fantastic. I've been saying it all show, completely forgotten. Any chance you might want to be part of the 20 and out elite? Use the word of the day into the comments. Score yourself some population points, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.